Hello, everybody. I am the CEO of iiRcade, and you are watching the best show in the world, Retro Buzz. Let's go.
This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why need a cameraman when you can just do it yourself? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Retro Buzz, and we have a pretty good show planned for today, thanks to Mr. Douglas. But we do have Glenn's Retro Show.
It's going to be a really good show this evening, gentlemen. Really good show.
Really good show. And
Really good show.
we also wait before I get to Doug. What do you have
Go back.
Wait, what do you have on top of the iiRcade there?
Oh, well, people are always asking me two things. How do they clean their screens and how do they clean the contacts? So I thought I would just start putting this up on here. Detox it. You always want to make sure you have some Detox it for any one of your retro gaming consoles. And Novus number 1 and Novus number 2 for cleaning your screen. Now, Novus number 2 is only if it's scratched and you use it gently. Number 1 is a great cleaner on there. So just a little infomercial here from Glenn's Retro Show for me to you guys out there.
Well, I was sitting there and I'm like, what in the heck? I thought it was product placement, right?
Maybe, Rabbit.
And I second that. I have some Deoxit as well. I use it all the time. And we have Mr. Douglas Smith as well.
I'm just disappointed that Glenn didn't do his like Vanna White presentation reveal, rotation, have a nice spotlight on the product and everything while he was doing the sales pitch and everything. But yeah, it's handy stuff. In my neck of the woods, unfortunately, that is also like ingredients A, B, and C for meth. So a little harder to buy around my area.
Yeah, that would be bad. That's interesting.
He's in New York.
Well, you're in New York. He's not.
Yeah. I'm in Missouri.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, so the big cat is out of the bag. Retromania dropped, like 20 minutes ago, half hour ago?
Mm-hmm.
And got it installed on the iiRcade. I see, Glenn, you actually have it booted up right there, which is nice.
I do. And what I like about it already, I just like it's in the aspect ratio of the old consoles or the old arcade machines back in the day. So that's a little bit of a treat right there. And the soundtrack, I have it low right now, but it's got a really kick-ass soundtrack to see on the title screen. So it's exciting. And everyone knows how good I am at sports games. So let's see how I do on it.
Yeah, I mean it's friendly to the person that is not experienced to sports games because it's friendly to button mashers. Like you can sit there and just pound away and not really have a clue what you're doing and accidentally pull off some impressive wrestling maneuvers. So that's great. That's going for. But like Glenn mentioned, they did change the aspect ratio to make this fit a 4:3 style monitor. Previously it was a 16:9, so that was one of the few things they definitely had to go back to the lab and kind of retool and rework as they ported it over to the iiRcade, because this is the last console, I guess, if you want to call it, even though it is an arcade, but it's the last iteration that Retromania is finally being released to, so we can all stop doing our waited bated breath thing. It's finally here and it's on sale. So this weekend only,
Yes.
It's going to be $24.99, so $5 savings. Starting on Monday, it'll be $29.99, which is still a great price for it because it's a phenomenal game. But on the iiRcade, if you want to get it now. Save yourself $5, $24.99, available now on the iiRcade store.
I think it's worth it.
Booyah.
And I think Glenn has purchased every single version for every single console just because, right?
Well, it's not because we have to have cameos in there that I would do that, but maybe I did. Still, of course, my Switch is still in the box. That still hasn't come out. So, but I really do hope they make a a physical copy for the Nintendo Switch, I'll absolutely buy it.
And you'll
Yep,
leave it in the
it's
box.
It's going to be
and the box, of
happening
course.
later from limited run games. When later is, we don't know, but they've already
may actually pre-order
said
that.
it's going to happen. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You'll get
So,
it
Doug,
9
let me
months from
know.
now.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
I'll let you know when the
but I'll
pre-order
definitely
happens,
pre-order that.
and then I'll remind you that it hasn't shipped for 6 to 8 months, which is
That's
typical
always how
for
it is.
limited run games. They make awesome stuff. It just takes forever to get to you.
So there's a lot of guys jumping in here. We got Roger Smith over on Facebook saying howdy. We also have got Prince Malcolm jumping in. Wagner's Tech Talk, happy Friday. Brad Llewellyn, how's everything going? Let's see here.
In the chat, who has already went out and got this? Give us a 1 if you've already got it, 0 if you haven't got it. All 3 of us, we've got it. I played it a little on my lunch break today, went through it real quick with Warhorse, won the 10 pounds of gold, ruled ass, and it plays great. I mean, I've been playing it on my Switch since the day it dropped, but the iiRcade, I really like the button configuration because, again, it's an arcade. It's meant to be an arcade game, but just having the weak, the medium, and the strong grapple all in line makes it so much easier for it. And then like the run button being down there with my thumb, it just ergonomically, it's very easy for me to play and get into the rhythm of, and get those pins.
Trying to look and see if we have anything.
Where's our poster? We still haven't gotten our poster.
I haven't gotten the poster either. I don't know what's up with Michael Herman there. We might have to send him a reminder. We've got a bunch of ones.
Busy trying to get this game out to everybody. So
you just can't make Glenn happy. That's the thing,
he's releasing a game on every major platform, known to man.
I mean,
so
come on.
We'll cut him some slack.
Yeah.
Until we see an Atari 2600 port, like the Halo, it's not in every system yet.
Oh,
for good
dear
reason.
Lord. There's always one. Always one comedian. So it looks like, Doug, there's a few zeros, but a lot of ones in the chat room.
Yeah, which means a lot of people are jumping at it. So that's good. I mean,
Nice.
The game only came out, like we said,
20 minutes ago
or so. So that's great to see. I know a lot of people have been anxiously awaiting it. Like I said, people have started to get their customized iiRcade cabinets in the last 30 days or so. So the only missing piece of that puzzle was the game itself. So, I'm excited to see everyone finally getting to play this game, because I know a lot of people were purposely waiting to play it until they could experience it on their iiRcade.
Now, here's a question for you guys. With those that purchased the iiRcade Retromania cabinet, do they get like a code for a free download of the game since they bought the Retromania arcade, or is that still a separate purchase on top of it?
I believe it came with a code, because I remember seeing a couple of people saying that they were able to redeem the code as early as last night. So codes were communicated and sent out to those people, I believe. So, good for them. I mean, it makes sense. You buy a cabinet with Retromania graphics all over it, you would hope that the Retromania game is included in some form.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I don't remember seeing anything on
Joe
that.
Sabo. I need the artwork. Got to get Joe Sabo on the horn.
Yep.
Joe, I need some artwork, man. Get over here.
I'm with Glenn on that. I would like to get it on there, but the other thing I see even in here, it would be hard for people to see the graphics on it unless it was head on. Like I could probably just change the kick panel and maybe the marquee.
Yeah.
I mean, because the side art, you're not really seeing the way I have my arcade set up, so it's not a deal breaker for me in that aspect. But I mean, I get it. Michael, the guy that was in studio here from the local arcade store, he bought one, a Retro Mania arcade. So obviously it's the only one he has. So you're going to see the artwork, and he's a big wrestling fan. So it just makes sense.
So Glenn, since you haven't got a chance to play it yet, who are you going to pick? Who's your first character going to be?
Well, that's a two-part answer. The first part is it's basically like a wrapped game. I can't play it because I want to take out the packaging. And number two, that's like me asking you what your favorite pinball machine is. When you can tell me your favorite pinball, I can tell you the favorite character.
Good deflection. Deflection.
So apparently you won a T-shirt. That's what they're saying in the chat room.
I did. They had some iiRcade trivia, and lo and behold, it was literally like a question meant for me because I'm a Warhorse fan. He's a Midwest guy, so they asked a Warhorse-esque trivia question that I knew right off the top of my head. So I rattled off the answer quickly, and I believe I'll be getting a Retromania iiRcade T-shirt that has the logos on each side. So
Nice.
very excited, very nice.
That'll be
Very
really
nice.
cool. Yeah, I saw they had a bunch of their. They had Michael Mana on there, and they had that other. What was it? The Warhorse or whatever.
Yeah, Warhorse. That's what let's talk about. Yeah.
And that was actually him. That wasn't one of Jong's people that was just dressing up to play.
Nope, that's actually him.
Because I wasn't sure because that guy was acting kind of flaky, even more than normal.
That's
more than normal.
That's the gimmick.
No,
you know,
I know, but that it was a little bit even. He just seemed a little bit
off.
Yeah, like
Mr. Warhorse,
outside the
fine.
normal.
If I ever meet you, I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. Steven's getting beat up. I thought you were great.
Yeah, he's a great personality.
I didn't say he wasn't great.
I love him to death. He's great in the ring, and I think he's hilariously entertaining.
He's just the ultimate warrior wannabe, is what he is.
Oh, them's fighting words. Them's fighting words.
Yeah, Warhorse, you're an ultimate warrior wannabe.
I would just like to go on the record and state that the views and opinions of Stephen Haywood do not necessarily reflect the rest of the Retro Buzz members. So just throwing that out.
I'm gonna stand.
You forget though.
Close to the Doug.
You forget though. I've got Stevie Richards. I've got Stevie Richards in my corner.
Okay.
So he's not gonna let me get down. He's beating the Warhorse.
Yeah, Stevie will not let you go down without cameras recording it. You know, for posterity,
yeah, you're probably
so
right. You're probably right. No, I'm only teasing, guys. Don't start a hate conversation in a group about it. It's nice that he was able to get some of these wrestlers on that are in the game, like
absolutely
have them on, discuss their thoughts. I know he had I forget what it was, the guy that has the championship in it. I forget his name.
Nick Aldis. Yeah.
They had him on a while. I'm surprised they didn't have him on today. He might have been busy, but it's nice to have those guys on in the actual game. So
yeah, well, it's nice to get their thoughts and opinions and get to hear a little bit of a backstory today about how they got involved in the game, what they think about being in the game, because we all think it's great just to play the game, but it's another thing. It's like, hey, they're in the game. Like Warhorse was like a fan selection. Like he wasn't even part of the original roster. It's like the indie wrestling community came together and said, we want this guy in the game. So he got super lucky and fortunate, and that allowed him to actually learn a little bit about the iiRcade. Now he's all in. He's a huge fan of the iiRcade. He's in the streams pretty frequently. Loves playing the game. So it's a cool kind of full circle thing to see the iiRcade community kind of put together.
And
that's the power of the community. I love it.
Yep,
love it.
Mike says the Ultimate Warrior was not a nice guy. No, and you're right. He wasn't a nice guy. I know a lot changed as he got older, but it was a joke, guys. It was just a joke. These guys, even in their retired age, could still snap me like a twig. I know that. Remember the commercial with Macho Man Randy Savage snap into a Slim Jim? Yeah. Wow. I mean, great demonstration there. So trust me. Just talking a little smack. It's all good. These guys are probably used to it. But no, it was really cool to see the live show with that, with those guys on it, and the game. Doug, I know you talked about it in pre-show a little bit. Like you were playing it on the Switch. I have it on the Switch. I don't have it on PS5. I'm holding off the PS4 version because I'm hoping Mike comes out with a PS5 upscaled version. Not that it's retro, so what are you going to really do? But I'm holding off for a PS5 version.
Mm-hmm.
This is your new
what about
favorite
a
way to play?
PS4 version you could play on your PS5? Would you settle for that?
Well, I can do that now, right? He has the PS4 version.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you like it better now that it's on the arcade.
I do. I mean, it's a game, like I said, designed and destined to be in an arcade format. It's the official sequel to WrestleFest, so it only makes sense that it would go on an arcade. But like I said, just the button layout and configuration of the iiRcade, with the top 3 buttons being your strike and your grapple, and then like your bottom lower third being the run. It just, like I said, it's a very natural, easy progression for me to chain things and command things together. Whereas different controllers, it's not bad, but it's still not great. I want to play this the way it was meant to be played, which is on an arcade. Fortunately for us, the iiRcade allows us to do that and does it well.
Well, and just like the original, it's a game where Glenn doesn't do very good at fighting games, but he can sit there and mash the buttons just like
Yep,
WrestleFest.
It's friendly to button mashers for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
And it
I was
sounds
doing that
great.
earlier.
This is where the iiRcade speakers come in really good with the soundtrack of this game. I love the intro music. It's fantastic. Love it.
Yeah, when Glenn
Yeah.
first called into the show, we were like, what the heck? Like, he had it cranked. So
Yeah.
we had to hit the
Which
mute
is-
button.
Which is funny. I don't know when this happened in the firmware updates, but I noticed when I was turning it up on mine, it gave me a little warning. It's like, if you turn the volume up louder, you may cause, permanent hearing damage. And I'm like, that just means I'm on the road to success. I'm doing things right when I got things warning me of hearing loss. So that's something you're not going to find anywhere else. Not only the warning, but the capabilities of damaging your hearing permanently with powerful sound.
Well, and here's something I think, and I don't know what you guys in the chat room think. I think, and if they've already discussed this, I apologize because I was half watching the stream today. I think that the wrestlers that are on the game, like, need to play you in the leaderboards. Like, I think that would be awesome, like, for them to get involved with that, and where, like, Doug, you went through and you beat it already. To truly beat it, you have to beat the wrestler at the very end, whoever that is. I think that would be awesome. I think a lot of people would love to do that, where you get on a chat conversation with, say, Stevie Richards. Let's say he's the last one or whatever. And you get on there and you're playing against him, and you can stream it or whatever and have those bragging rights because you're never going to face him in real life. I don't know. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity. So I don't know many wrestling fans that would pass up that opportunity. Number one, to like interact with superstars that they love, but to actual like interact on a one-on-one V versus V type of experience. That'd be awesome.
I mean, especially Glenn. Glenn was been talking smack on Stevie Richards, every time he comes on the show. So this is a great way for Glenn to put up or shut up, right?
Stevie knows that is completely untrue. I would never say anything bad about Steve Richards.
Mike in the chat room thinks it's a great idea. I mean, I'm not saying that it has to be for ongoing forever, right? You're launching this game, and maybe like the first week or first month, we'll say, like, you have a designated day where whoever gets to that last guy plays against Stevie Richards in the final, and he plays for a couple matches that night. And then the next night, maybe it's Jim Morrison or whoever. Whoever but I think that would be cool. It'd be a way to give back to the fans that are buying it, whether they're buying it on a deal or they're getting it. I think it would be really, really cool for these guys to do that.
I agree. And I'll add another like tenet to that. So there's going to be DLC content that we know.
Correct.
Mike mentioned that on the stream and everything. He said the next or the first person DLC was going to be Chris Bay. So here's what you do to introduce the new DLC character. You get that person. So if Chris Bay is going to be the first DLC wrestler, you get Chris Bay on there playing people, showing people what he can do, what his moveset is, showing his opinion, talking about, how well that translated from game to real life, and really give you that one-on-one insight that only he can provide, as well as that one-on-one experience of being able to play somebody in the community.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool because, like, just like I was saying about Warhorse, right? You could start trash talking them, and they know you're only messing with them. You have that respect for them. But it would be fun for people watching that match to hear you going back and forth, like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick you in the teeth," and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and try," because they're used to doing promo shoots on everybody. So I think it would be entertaining, to have them be like, "Glenn, I'm gonna use you as a toothpick and pick the meat out of my teeth," like that type of thing.
They should do that. They should put me in the game to be something like that. Pull me out of the stands. And use a toothpick and jab people with me. That'd be a great idea.
Yes. Sorry, I'm looking here at some of the comments. These guys, they think it's a good idea. So, Mike Herman, if you're watching this, if you do get to watch it or if word gets back to you, make it happen. These guys would like to play some of these actual wrestlers. Mike says that would be awesome if you could create your own league in the game called it the Tech Buzz League and have community in it face off. And it's cut off. Sorry, I don't know what the rest of it says, but face off once a month in pay-per-views and tournaments. Sorry, I had
There
to
you
look
go.
over at YouTube. Well, I had to go over.
Mhm.
I like it.
That would be really cool. I think there's ways of doing um, leaderboards and tournaments to make it for people to want to play it rather than just highest score. Because what are you gonna
Yeah.
do? Sit there and kick the guy's teeth in until you got the highest score? I mean, really?
Yeah. Well, that is one of the actual selling points of the iiRcade version of Retromania, though, is it actually offers leaderboards where the other home consoles do not. So it has a unique feature that you can only find on the iiRcade, which is pretty sweet.
Well, if you and Brad O'Connell is saying, the game is not is on a lot of platforms. How would that work? The game has no online fighting. Correct. Well,
Yet.
when Mike Herman was on the show, if you guys remember when he first introduced this, if you go back and watch one of the early Retro Buzz episodes, he stated he's working on it, and if they can do it with Fortnite and some of these other like Call of Duty and make it cross-platform, he can do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah,
And
it's just one thing after, baby
Yeah.
steps. They got a roadmap, I'm sure. DLC, this, and this. Online content, this, and this. It's in the works. You got to believe that it's in the works. It's just a matter of time.
because you could then put a headset on and because there's headphone jack. I'm sure he's going to make a way where you could talk if there is a built-in mic in there. I don't.
Oh, Bluetooth.
know.
They got Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. There you go. So you could actually once they do that, just like you play Bomb Squad and some of these other ones, play it on a different console. Somebody has a Switch, somebody has an iiRcade, and you just play against them. I think that would be a lot of fun. I really do.
Absolutely.
We could almost do it where you raise money for a charity, right? And I know they would get behind that where you get a bunch of YouTubers together, you get the wrestlers together and the community and just have at it for one night or something. Or
For all we know, a person out there might need an implant, a medical implant, and we can raise some money for them.
True story.
Sorry, inside joke.
You
Inside
just
joke.
never know. Anything's possible. So outside of that, iiRcade has a few other games that have come out. What else do we have here on the docket? Doug, we have some Arcade 1-Up information, I think, right?
Yeah, so Target put up some pre-order listings on their website for some new countercades, and I'm just calling these, version 3, generation 3, whatever you want to call it. These are new and quote-unquote improved countercades because they have some new bells and whistles features. So namely, number one, they have a headphone jack in the top left-hand corner of each of the control decks. And then number two, they all come with a light-up marquee standard. They each have, yeah, which is very nice. It's one of the first things, the community, once the countercades started coming out, they immediately said, hey, Angel, hey, they went to the third-party manufacturers and said, hey, we want light-up marquees for our countercades because we want them to look just like the arcades. We want them to look like our arcade one-ups that already have, light-up marquees. So it's great to see that we get some new bells and whistles without an increase in cost, because these are listed at $149.99, which has been the going rate for a countercade that had 4 games on it. They had a 2-in-1 version, some other games that were around $99 that were being sold on QVC and HSN last summer. But release date showing July 1st. You get 4 games on each one, slightly different design. So we've already had Miss Pac-Man countercade before. Some were blue, some were pink. This one's black and blue. So different color scheme, different color way.
That's a 40th anniversary one too.
Yeah, so it's 40th anniversary. This year it's the 40th anniversary of Miss Pac-Man, as well as the 40th anniversary of Galaga. And if you see real tiny print, I don't remember off the top of my head, but real tiny print on that side of that cabinet image, it shows the game listings.
Oh, here, let me go back to it and I can zoom in on it. Right down here.
Yeah, so Miss Pac-Man, you got Rompers, Mappy, and New Rally X to go with Miss Pac-Man.
There you go.
New Rally X. Oh,
yeah. New Rally X.
So
Rally X.
Now, Rally X is on a different cabinet, but New Rally X is on this one.
So they're putting.
And I'll say for $149 with the light-up marquee and the headphone jack on there, the 4 games, that's really not too bad. So I'll take it off. That's probably maybe I'll pick up that Miss Pac-Man just for that actually New Rally X.
Mm-hmm. So one thing we don't know though is if anything else has been changed or improved or modified whatsoever on these. So one gripe I had about the Generation 2 original smaller countercades that we got last summer was the screen. It was okay viewing dead on, but anytime you went off to the side or had some sort of off-axis viewpoint of it, it got washed out really quickly and just started to gray, lose color. A lot of people kind of mentioned that as well. Basically, community said, hey, this is all right, but it could be better and it should be better. And that's one thing I'm really hoping is changed on this quote unquote Generation 3 iterations of these countercades. I hope it's got a different display in there that doesn't have that washout viewing issue.
So on the
lower grade monitors, when you put it to the vertical positions, don't have good viewing angles. They're better horizontal. So maybe they put a slightly better screen in. I guess we're going to find out soon enough.
So on the Pac-Man one, I zoomed in on the bottom here. It looks like there's Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and Rally X on the original Pac-Man. So
why would you want Rally X?
That's Super Pac-Man.
On the Super Pac-Man. That's what I mean on that one.
You want new Rally X, man. No one wants Rally X. Rally X is old. You want new Rally X.
They came out a year apart, Glenn.
But it was like one difference. You want that difference.
So
that's true.
So the
you
ones
want that new hotness.
So the ones on this on this website here, these are all the new ones, all three of these. So you have the Super Pac-Man, the Miss Pac-Man 40th anniversary, and then you have the Pac-Man / Galaga, where they did it, where a lot of the community members were doing this, where they were splitting the marquees.
Yeah. So
I thought that was kind of interesting.
A poor man's version of the Namco 20th anniversary cabinet, which famously had Miss Pac-Man and Galaga split down the middle, had some nice artwork, left and right. They kind of did that with this. Again, like I said, I say that poor man's version just because it could have been.
Looks like the 12-in-1. My 12-in-1 has.
Yeah, but I mean, I know what they were going with, and for people that are fans of Pac-Man and Galaga that for whatever reason don't already have some iteration of Pac-Man or Galaga from Arcade 1-Up yet, here's a great opportunity.
It's got Pac-Man.
This has a headphone jack, man.
Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Galaga, and Galaxian. I don't like Pac-Mania. I am not a Pac-Mania fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's okay to play.
It's okay, but it's not something you can sit there and play for hours. It's kind of like,
No. Yeah. I agree.
So, to a surprise to nobody, more Pac-Man from Arcade 1-Up.
Well, hey, for the record,
we all joke about it, but we know why.
It.
I mean,
we predicted
it. I mean, it's the easiest prediction ever. There's death, taxes, and Pac-Man from Arcade 1-Up. However,
pretty much.
Like I said, we know why this happens. It sells well. It pays the bills. It keeps the lights on. Allows them to do R&D for other things that are maybe a little more affectionate, aesthetically looking to other people. So, if this irks you, just look the other way because there's new things coming on the horizon in a matter of like 9 days or something from E3. So just if this doesn't suit you, just ignore it. Something good is going to be on the horizon.
And so Hollywood Polo's like, I have these on coin ops, so I'm not really interested. But you got to think about it like this, and I understand where they're coming from with these countercades. Not everybody has the room for the full-size cabinets, and they have shelving that they can stick them on. Like I've seen a lot of guys collect those 3/4 scale ones that you can get. I don't know, not 3/4 scale.
Quarter scale. 6 scale.
The one that you can get at Walmart, the little $20 ones.
Yeah,
and
basic fun ones.
And they'll play with them, but they'll put them on a shelf, and because they don't have the room for it and they want to collect it. So I get it. It's not for everybody. It's not for us. We're not going to line up to get these countercades. But for the price, I mean, considering we paid, what, $99 for the blowout that Walmart had, or was it $78?
$49. Yeah,
that's right, $49.
Some people,
Yeah, I got it for $49. I got the Miss Pac-Man. Oh no, the Galaga. The Galaga I got for $49. And then the other one I got from was it Home Shopping Club for $99 that you put out, and you cost me money there too. So you're gonna find something else, and then Doug's gonna cost us money on this one. I know it.
I'm actually surprised they don't do as many of the wallcades. They kind of did those, and I thought they're a great idea. You don't see them, and they're really a good idea.
And that's an interesting thing too, because the countercades almost kind of like step on the toes of the wallcades, partycades, whatever you want to call it, because these being $149.99, the partycades being around that $199 price point with like 8 games, and I think some of them even had 12 games last time I looked. I can't remember, but I know they at least had 8 games, a bigger screen, so it has that weird thing. It's like if you're limited on space and you limited on funds, how do you make that decision? Do you start looking at the wallcades, or do you start looking at the countercades? Because both offer very similar, presentation, small foot fact or
but these wallcades are small enough where I'm sure someone like, you know, I don't know, Tulsa Arcade, someone can make a mount, or anyone could probably make a mount and just take the countercade and put it on the wall. I'm surprised they don't include a bracket that hanging on the door. I just thought that was a great idea that they had that really hasn't continued along, and I feel kind of bad about that because I thought it was a really good idea.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's some new ones on the horizon because I'm like you. I was impressed with the versatility and the options of it, being able to put it on a desk if you wanted to, hang it on a door frame, put it on a wall. You know,
hang
all
it on your
those
girlfriend.
options.
It worked all kinds of ways.
Listen,
There you go.
I'm
you know,
I'm
just
with
put a
Mike.
battery pack, go hiking, have
I'm
her
with
hike in front of you, and just
I'm
I
with
could have used it this Sunday. It would have been perfect.
there you go.
I'm with Mike on this. I literally would have put, if they had a lower price, I would have put them in my bathroom, the one down here, because I can pretty much do whatever I want. I've already got Sega in there and a TV in there. I literally would have put that on there.
Bathrooms worry me. Like if your door and your toilet are that close, because I
Oh
got
no,
long
that's a
arms.
big.
I
I have a
can't
big
reach
bathroom.
the wall or the door.
Oh no, I listen. You can get up, like when my wife is helping my son take a shower or something.
Are we really talking about this on our show?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we
Bathroom
are.
And playing on the toilet. Is that what we're talking about?
Listen, I have a Sega in my bathroom with wireless controllers. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, Sega belongs there, so that's okay.
Oh my God.
Wow, he didn't do that. Okay. Notice he stepped out of frame there. He didn't want anybody to see the reaction there. No, I think we're going to see more. I think we're going to see more and more Pac-Man coming. You know, and there's a rumor that I had seen in a forum, and I'm just going to put it out there because I was, you know, we talked last week in depth about E3 and you know, the new arcades that Arcade 1-Up was coming out, and I saw people posting from a reliable source. That's what they said. That these aren't even coming to fruition. These arcades that we were talking about last week, the baby arcades. Now, take it as a grain of salt, right? But they said that it's just them, Arcade 1-Up, trying to feel the market to see if there is a demand for this. If enough people are like, yeah, make it. So this could be vaporware. You know, Doug, you said it last week about things getting shipped. I know there's stuff that's back ordered until February of next year already. Yeah. Not necessarily this stuff, but other stuff that I'm into. You're not getting anything before February because of everything's finally catching up to where the delay was, and now we're trying to recover from all that. It's like economics, right? It takes a while for the trickle down effect to happen, right?
Absolutely.
So
another thing to realize, we talked before the show started, that like Tron was one of the things they showed, but next year is Tron's anniversary, where, you know, Miss Pac-Man's is this year. So my guess is you're really going to see Tron next year because Disney's going to do a big push, you know, with Tron. And if Arcade 1-Up and other companies are smart, they're going to ride that wave of when that happens. So my guess is like the Tron probably won't come out until sometime in 22. My prediction.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy tie-in, easy marketing. Why would you pass up free, you know, assisted marketing and buzz and, you know, getting all the other companies involved and, you know, pushing your brand and talking about your product. So it just makes sense to, you know, wait and tie it in with pivotal moments in the game's history.
And I don't think that's a bad idea for Arcade 1-Up. I mean, you announced so many great titles that people want. Killer Instinct, you know, the Battletoads, you know, all these ones, Dragon's Lair, all these different arcades. People only have so much money. Unless you're Michael B. the Game Genie, then you're just going to buy every single one, and you're going to sit there, and then you're going to do multiple videos about reconstructing your game room, and it did tear everything down. I feel bad for that guy, man. I don't know how many times he's torn down his game room and put it back up.
He's got an angel for a wife. He's got to have an angel for a wife.
He has it down pat on how to put these games in there. He must have like every Arcade 1-Up, every pinball that's out on the market right now, minus Toy Shock. But no.
So what he doesn't have is a Tetris arcade, and that's what he needs because apparently he's fan-frickin-tastic of it. He's got those Tetris life skills. That
don't give him any ideas. His wife's gonna watch this and be like, "Doug, you're costing him."
I'm just saying. If anybody needs a Tetris arcade cabinet, it's Michael B. because he lives that lifestyle.
But I mean, seriously though, I mean, unless you're a diehard collector and wanting to get every single arcade, we're going back to this again. People are out of room. So, Arcade 1-Up, if they're smart, they would take some of the titles, release them at the end of this year, and then some of the titles at the beginning of next year. Even though they're announcing them, that would be smart, because then that would give Michael B some time to figure out where he's going to put them. Just saying. So,
See, I'm in the opposite on it. That, like, if I'm Arcade 1-Up, I'm like, that's a you problem, not a them problem, because like
I'm
they're
just
in the
trying to help
business
them
of
out.
selling you things. They're not in the business of figuring out where you can put your stuff. So,
But that's true.
that onus is on the consumer. It's an unfortunate thing that we're all feeling. That's a pain point that many of us are experiencing. But at the end of the day, they're out there to sell machines. They don't care if you put it on your roof, in your bathroom, in your garage, in your bedroom, on your bed. They just want you to have that arcade experience in your home.
This is the best. This is the best comment. Sorry, I wasn't able to trigger that other. 8-Bit Brian says, he goes, I'm waiting for him to put scaffolding and have a double-decker arcade. Don't give him ideas. He's probably in the chat room right now, just like lurking, and he's probably laughing, because he would do that. Actually, I'm waiting for somebody to do that if they have a big enough, high enough ceiling. That's not a bad idea, actually, if you can pull something like that off. Especially Glenn. Glenn needs to be able to do that.
Yeah. I do.
He's got no room.
I mean, yeah, my theater room has now been encroached. I can't watch, any movies in here now. There's no room. And I want to say the house has become the gaming room house. I have a problem. I do. Me and Michael both have a problem.
We know that.
The first step is admitting. You're on the right track.
Wait till you have a woman in the house. That'll all change. Then you get designated space. They get the rest. And if you're lucky and you have a garage, you can have that too, to an extent.
Maybe it's time to buy one of those nice plastic, outdoor sheds. Those really nice outdoor
The he shed. The he shed,
right,
he shed.
right, and start going out there. Yeah.
Or move coal into it, whatever.
Oh,
Well, see now,
there you go.
now I just thought of something. You guys just made me think of something.
Sorry about that.
Those baby cades are plastic. Maybe they're waterproof. Maybe we can keep them outside on the front porch.
There you go. Flotation devices. We talked about this.
There you
Put
go.
one in the pool.
Glenn, there's tons of suggestions here in the chat room for you. Like,
Bunker arcade hidden in the
bunker
backyard.
arcades. Don't you have an attic, Glenn? Mike wants to know.
That's not a bad idea either, the attic.
Hollywood says he's got all the space. Let's see here. What else have we got?
I mean, who needs a dining room set? I'm a single guy. I don't need a dining room set. Take that out.
Roger said you're in a he hut.
Oh, there you go. I like that. I like he hut.
Meatball Saucy says, if 1-Up would just give me a $1,000 premium Silver Strike cab, I could call it quits and be in my in the happy zone. Excuse me.
See, everyone thinks they just need that one cab and then they can draw lines. I can tell you, if you're a collector, there's no such thing as just one more. You always tell yourself it's that easy. It's that easy lie you tell yourself before you close your eyes at night, but it's not true. It's never just one more. It's always, but maybe if something else comes out, I could pair it with this, and then I'd be done. And then it just keeps going.
Glenn's going to want to screenshot this one.
It reminds me of the movie The Jerk, if you guys have ever seen that movie. I only need this book. I don't need anything. Oh, I need this.
Hey,
you can't give it up.
Glenn, yes. you need to screenshot this comment from Jennifer Wyatt. I think she'd let him put them in the family room.
Oh, wow.
That
nice.
You're gonna want.
You might want to get that. You might want to get that girl's number.
She might be a keeper.
You might want her number because maybe that's for you.
Well, the thing is, you said that room. What about the bedroom? If I could put them in the bedroom.
Oh, now you're drawing the line. Like I tried that too.
Maybe one or two in the kitchen. I could put a couple of countercades. It's a countertop. There should be some countercades in the kitchen.
Oh, you're pushing it now, man. It was hard enough for me to get a recliner, just because I didn't have room down here. And my wife, the only reason she agreed to put the recliner up there is because it has a built-in massager, so she could sit in there after work and hit the button. And she's a happy camper. So. Let's see, Glenn, does your work have a party room?
I guess that'd be the bathroom.
Okay.
Well, I work. Like Doug. I work in the medical field. The only party room is when someone leaves the hospital healthy and cured. That's the only party we have.
Are the wires hidden? Well, yeah, you have to have. In my house, at least, the wires are hidden. You don't. I can't stand wires, even with all my arcade or my video stuff. If you look and it's clean, like you don't see wires.
Yeah, no. I have like extension cord going into power strip, going to another extension cord to another power strip. It's a death walk.
Oh, so yours is a
So
fire
what you're saying is you're an OSHA-friendly environment.
Yeah, very, very.
All
I can't
right.
say how many times Cole will be walking around, all of a sudden, kapoop!
So there was something else that was in the news that Doug put in there, and that is the rotating screen for an arcade that a certain company is making that we all know is Taito. Why don't you talk
Taito.
about that a little bit?
It looks
Taito's
hot. It looks hot.
Making a nice little miniature arcade, very reminiscent of, the Sega's Astro City that we got last year. Only, they're putting a spicy twist on it, so to speak, because it's got more bells and whistles than ever before. It's got a rotating screen. You simply just push in, rotate it so you can play games in their horizontal or vertical aspect ratio. It's got interchangeable control decks, so you got the normal standard, joystick and 6 buttons, or you could swap that out for something that has a trackball or a spinner. You got SD card slot expansion. They're talking about 40 built-in games initially. SD card slot or SD card with more additional games that would come with one of these interchangeable control decks. I mean, this thing looks awesome. Taito's got a bunch of awesome arcade games, but this thing, I mean, it looks like they thought of everything. HDMI out, so you can plug it in, connect it to a TV.
Everything. They copied my machine from the Legends Connect. It's a total ripoff. I demand justice, Taito. I want my money. You stole my ideas. Give me my cash.
Well, you got to call, was it JG Wentworth, 1-800-CASH NOW or something like that, I think is what it is.
But it really, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The thing really does look phenomenal. As Doug said, though, it's a little bit pricey, but it's got anything you've ever asked for. Honestly, anything we've all asked for, they have in this thing. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah. So currently it's only available over in Japan. I mean, you can order it online and get it shipped over to America, but it's meant only for Japanese release as of today. We'll find out later in the future if something like this comes to the States officially, but I would expect it to be a Japan-only type of release that you'll have to import. But price after the conversion, you're looking at just for the console, $170. If you want an expansion controller, so like the trackball, the spinner version, it's going to run you $110. That's going to come with 10 extra games, but again, $110. If you want just an extra arcade stick, you're looking at $80. If you want just a gamepad, little plug-in USB 6-button, Sega Genesis looking gamepad type of thing, that'll be $30. And if you want the I am Elon Musk bundle, it's going to cost you $450, not including shipping, for all the bells and whistles, instruction manuals, CD soundtracks, all the extension controllers and everything.
So here's the question, Doug.
You got money to burn.
Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you planning on getting?
So I purchased the just bare bones $170 one. I've already got it in my cart. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet on the expansion USB trackball controller, just because it feels like a no-brainer to add that. But the $110 thing makes me go, ooh.
Maybe Glenn's Retro Show could make something to fit that and retrofit
I could. I mean, I already made the stupid thing that they ripped off on me. So I'm assuming it's probably a USB interface for the controls, but I might have to just buy it just so I can go after him in a lawsuit. I don't know.
Do you see the trend here, Doug? Glenn starts going after Kathleen Kennedy, and what happens? She gets fired.
She's close, man. She's on the freaking hook.
She's
almost there.
She's almost there. Glenn starts complaining about, or he starts talking about his new inventions. He puts it out there, and guess what? Companies go,
gone.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
So here we are again.
See, again, that's where these companies should talk to me, and maybe I can help them out. Because I would say Taito's using my information, but whatever.
Yeah. So the built-in games, they didn't give an official, full-on breakdown. They did give a little teaser, so to speak. So they said Space Invaders, Lunar Rescue, Quicks. It's actually pronounced Quicks.
Kicks. I thought it's called Kicks.
Everyone calls it Kicks, but it is phonetically spelled in Japanese Quicks. Q-I-C-K-S, which would be Quicks, but literally
Sorry,
everybody
so
in the
wait,
world calls
wait.
it with a K.
I thought it was Quicks, but P-Dubs said
On,
Kicks.
yes,
So
on
what is
Legend
P-Dubs?
Center, I got lambasted by not only the community, by P-Dubs and everybody else, that I thought it was Quicks. That's how I knew it.
Yeah.
All growing up, it was Quicks.
Yep.
But everybody said, no, it's Kicks. So I'm
Like I
like,
said, everybody
okay.
in America, as long as I've known, has always called it Kicks, just K-I-C-K-S. But if you break it down phonetically, translate it from Japanese, it is spelled Q-U-I-C-K-S, and that is directly from Taito. So you can call it whatever you want. There's only one real answer, but at the end of the day, who cares? It's on there. You can play it.
It's a good game.
You get that.
Good game.
You get Bubble Bobble, Global Champion, Elevator Action, Strike Bowling, and a couple other games I've literally never heard of. So
Yeah,
I can pretend like I know them, but I'm not familiar with Plump Pop.
Mike goes, it's pronounced Kicks, like as in the kicks, like you kicks the
Cereal?
ball.
Yeah.
Kick Zero?
So
People will argue that till their dying breath, but I guarantee if you look it up and you
It's
see how it's
tomato.
phonetically spelled out,
Damn it.
it's
Tomato.
Q-U.
I'm fine with it. Whatever anybody wants to call it, that's fine.
It's a fun game. Who cares what you call it?
Yeah,
It's a very fun game.
I was just kind of one of those, like, I didn't know what the actual, because that's what we
Well,
always
again,
called it.
I agree with you. I always called it Quicks.
Yeah.
That's what I always called it. Then P-Dubs comes down and says, nope, we've discussed it. It's Kicks. Like, oh, okay. I guess I was wrong.
So that's where you got to kind of sit back and go, okay, to each their own. You say tomato, I say tomato, or
Yeah.
potato,
Just let
potato.
people be happy and play the games. Who cares?
Yeah, as long as it's fun.
Mhm.
So I got to ask, so this week I know you're going to laugh, I got the special edition Joy-Cons for the Switch, the Fortnite special edition ones. I ordered them, and they just
What-
showed up today.
So tell me what special. Like, I assume it's just a different skin on them, or
Yeah, it's a
educate
different.
me.
It comes with some downloadables for it, but it also has like the yellow side, and then it also has like for the banana. Because I am always Agent Peely. If you give me a second here, I will
Mr.
actually
Banana
get the
Man,
I
Secret
love Agent Peely. He's like my guy. And playing with the kids.
Peanut butter jelly time.
So,
Peanut butter jelly time.
I
Way up,
I
way up.
pre-ordered these like I don't know a few months ago. Like
Okay, so it actually has this little face on the bottom.
yeah, so it has his face on the bottom,
good.
and then the blue
'Cause
ones.
I was gonna chide.
Oh, that
chide
is
you
a
for a
must
second when I thought it was
buy,
just yellow
Steven.
and blue, but no, it's got some art on there, so that's good.
Yeah, it's got some art, and then on the back, it's got some stuff. But it comes with the Fleet Force bundle, which is like some kind of glider, some kind of gun, and 500 V-Bucks, which it's like getting some money back. But
It's really not.
I know because you're just gonna spend it anyway. But like the action figures, like for Fortnite, I do like Agent Peely, so I that was the main reason I bought this was because of I like Agent Peely. So it was kind of like, okay, well, I gotta have the Joy-Cons, right? It's just one of those collector's things. But the Zelda stuff should be shipping soon too, right? What is it? The Sword, Skyward Sword, right?
And then fingers crossed. I mean, I don't know if this is going to happen during Nintendo's E3 presentation because
Yeah.
God knows they've got a ton of stuff to talk about, a rumored Switch Pro and all that stuff. But
Yep.
this year is the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. I would really like to see it get the awesome treatment that Super Mario Brothers did because
Never played it. I've never played it.
You've never played The Legend of
What?
Zelda?
But the entire franchise.
Nope.
Oh,
Fantasy
Ladies
Star
and
guy.
gentlemen, I would like to formally apologize for Glenn. It's been a pleasure having him as a host of this show, but he
Yes.
is no longer welcome back.
No.
And we are looking for immediate replacement.
yes.
So if you
I
would like
was
to be
always
a new co-host of the Retro Buzz,
Fantasy
Glenn,
Star
Glenn,
and Ease.
real gamers are talking,
Star
Glenn.
Ease.
Hang on a second. If you would
I-
like to be the new host of the Retro Buzz, filling out the middle of the screen, your contract, it's very, to your liking. You'll just take over where Glenn has left off, and we'll welcome you with open arms.
How?
I'm not gonna,
wait,
I'm not
wait.
gonna stand for this.
I gotta know, how did you not ever play
Yeah.
Zelda? Like
You-
that was like
not
Look, I'll tell
accidentally.
you why.
it's a staple.
Zelda came out in NES and it looked low grade graphics, and
Oh.
Fantasy Star came out with a really hot chick. On the opening screen of Fantasy Star on the Master System was a really hot chick. So I played Fantasy Star, man. I was hooked on Fantasy Star. Then I played Ease. I had a CD player. There was no Zelda for me.
All right, some of the guys
sorry.
some of the guys in the chat room are saying, well, like Zelda is meh, so we can add them to the list. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, baby.
But listen, you know, Conte, you at least played it.
That's the thing.
You at least played it.
Like, there's no excuse at this point in your gaming history, Glenn, that at some point you haven't cross paths and experience
I will say this.
version of Zelda.
I've never turned even on a Zelda because I know if I turned it on, I have to play the stupid thing for 500 hours. But if you go on Atari Age, there is a Zelda Con where they took all the Zelda characters and put them over on Donkey Kong, where I guess Donkey Kong is Ganon, and Zelda is the girl up there, and Jumpman is now Link, and the barrels are skeletons. So check that out on Atari Age. It's for, I think, they have a copy for the ColecoVision and the 2600. I'll play that. And wait, now hold on one more second too before you go. I'm gonna say one thing here, which is one reason why I don't want to touch it. CDI Zelda. Okay, that's enough tainting on there for me not to go near it.
I'm just speechless.
You think you know
point.
somebody?
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic. Like when we did, where's Rexer? Is Rexer not here? Somebody needs to PM Rexer and get him in the chat room here because
he's right there. He
needs
said it's close to saying you've never played Super Mario.
Thank you. I was just gonna say, Rex, you need to do one of your shows.
Glenn, how would you feel if somebody said, "What's a Pong"? I've never played Pong.
Okay, Doug, Steven, have you played Pong?
Yes.
Breakout?
Yes.
I own Breakout. I play.
You're just saying that because
I'm actually really good at Breakout. I have it on my Legends Ultimate.
I'd be less upset if you said I played Zelda and I didn't like it, but the fact that you purposely have went this far in your life avoiding Zelda, oh my God, that irks me.
All right. So
Nintendo,
almost 40 years, 35 years, 35 years. Glenn has never played Zelda. Rex, on your Everybody Has a Podcast show, you need to have Glenn as your guest, and you need to lambaste him up one side and down the other as to why he has not played Zelda. You will have thousands of people watching because everybody's going to want to know.
Well, his
Metroid.
main argument was
what?
The box art didn't.
Wait, Doug, did you just hear what he said?
What?
Say it again.
Never played Metroid. Never played Metroid.
For somebody that attacks me so much for being a Sega fanboy, you're not very well versed in this Nintendo IP, are you?
Oh, I played Keith Courage in Alpha Zones.
That's Keith Courage is one of the most horrible games for the TurboGrafx 16.
But I played it.
Freaking Courage.
I played it.
I play a lot of the TurboGrafx, and I like the TurboGrafx 16, and I'll even say Keith Courage has got to be the worst, and the fact that they packaged it with it was none.
Yeah, it was a huge mistake. There was a mistake made.
This is just insane. This is.
Sorry, guys, I'm getting a call. Hang on. Sorry. Hello. Oh, Kathleen. I've been meaning to hear from you. Yes, as a matter of fact, I know you're watching. We do have an opening on the Retro Buzz. I know, you've been waiting for the Glenn thing to dismiss. But guess what? He's no longer on the show, and we'd love to have you on as our new host of the Retro Buzz.
You're basically having Ganon. That's what she looks like.
I'll touch base with more details later, all right? Okay, bye.
Wow, man, that's pretty cool.
I've been doing this show with you guys for over a year now.
Over a year. Yeah.
And I'm just now knowing this.
Somebody.
Okay, the audience would expect me, being the newbie here in this community, to be the one to not ever have played that. But not you, Glenn. Glenn, you are like... We got to strip you of your title, the godfather of retro games now.
Well, I know about the game. I know about the history of the game. I just didn't want to spend 40, 50 hours playing the game. Because I wanted to catch up. There's like 500 Zelda games out there now. Come on.
How would you know? You haven't played any of them.
Because I see them, people playing them and saying how great they are, but Phantasy Star was really good. Ease was really, really good.
Phantasy Star was good, but I agree with
I'm not going to argue that. I'm going to argue the fact that you should, at some point in your life, experience Zelda. If you want to say it's not a fun game, fine.
Well, at least experience it. It's a Nintendo. I'm sure it's a fun game. I'm sure it's fun. But, I just don't want to invest a lifetime playing all 500 new Zelda games that I have to play. I'm not like P-Dubs. I don't have all day myself to just play games.
Let's put him to wait, Doug. Let's put him to another test. Have you played Golden Axe?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I know that was 16-bit error, but it's still just.
Oh, and Forgotten Worlds, another game.
Okay.
Great game on the Genesis. Forgotten Worlds. The controls sucked, but it was a good game. Played that. Altered Beast. Schools of Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts.
These
great
are
games.
staple Nintendo games. These were what made up our childhood.
Not my childhood, man. My childhood was Pong and Breakout, Space Fury, Berserk. That was your kind of game, all right? I grew up under a man game. It was just a block and a dot and a beep. That was gaming.
I don't know, man. Oh, jeez.
And the game's called Legends of Zelda, and she's your rescuing her. You're Link. It should be called The Legends of Link. I mean, come on. Really?
Alfred. He says you probably still have them in plastic.
I don't even have them.
You what?
No, I don't have.
You don't even own them.
No.
Now I could have seen. Okay, I could have seen you if you said, I played The Legend of Zelda. I played The Adventures of Link. I hate The Adventures of Link, but I love The Legends of Zelda. I could have forgiven you for that. Like as a Zelda fan,
turned it on.
The Adventures of Link is kind of rough, but.
Well, especially if you played the first one, you go into that one.
Yeah, because you go from a 3D to a 2D.
Ys did the same thing. Ys Book 1 and 2 was like the first Zelda, and then Ys 3 was like Link 2, where it was a side-scroller type of game. And yeah, it's a jarring thing going from one game to the other. So I kind of played it then.
Oh, you're getting barraged now. Mike wants to know, has Glenn played any Sonic games?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't play Sonic and Knuckles, though.
That was actually a good game, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah. But I played all the Sonic games. And you know what? I really enjoyed the first Sonic game. It was fun, but the play mechanics never really grew, in my opinion. It wasn't enough new things. This Mario, they added new play mechanics in the game with the different Marios.
See,
but Sonic was.
Doug, I don't know how you felt, but like when Zelda came out, and after you beat it like 50 times, and you tried to get every item and everything, you were clamoring for another game like that. In fact, Xanadu is another game that I played to death because it was just like Zelda.
Was unique because it actually allowed you to play the master quest, so to speak, the harder version of it after you beat it. So I mean, that was one of the first games to do that. It was also one of the first games to allow you to save your freaking game, which is iconic video game history in itself.
And 35 years later, it still works and it still saves games.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yep. It's the first Nintendo cartridge to do so. Yep. No more codes. That's the one thing I did hate about Ys. If you didn't have a battery backup on your CD, you had like a password that was like 1,200 letters long, and you couldn't tell a 0 from an O, and you wrote it down. You could never get back to your game. I hated that.
That's how Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was.
Yeah.
0073735963, and you can be at Mike Tyson. There's your tip of the week. Okay. Zero Hero wants to know, before we wrap this up, someone asked him his favorite Nintendo game. So what was your favorite Nintendo game, Glenn?
I actually have two, and I'll tell you why. The first one is one of them, Gyromite, because remember the video game industry was kind of dead. No, I'm serious. The video game industry was dead in the USA. It was dead. I was in New York, so I got a launch edition, Rob, Nintendo.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. That's why I laugh. It's just because it's integration with Rob the Robot.
Yeah.
Right. So, I was playing that, and I really enjoyed that game, and that's always going to be a staple for me because, remember, the industry was dead. No one was playing games. That kind of brought it back. So, for me, it just has a special spot. After that, I'm going to probably say it's a tough talk between Super Mario Brothers and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I freaking love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but I also like Mario Brothers. So, those are probably my two staples. Duck Hunt was a great game, too. It's hard to play now unless you have a CRT. I do have a CRT, but, that was a fun game. But I would say probably push comes to shove, I'll probably say Punch-Out.
So Brad O'Connell says here, he says, Glenn's the one YouTuber who B-Kongs or us could not imitate, and that is because Glenn is so genuine and has no gimmicks or catchphrases. Brad, you must be smoking something because Glenn, Glenn is the king of gimmicks of all people. I think P-Dubs makes a close second. with Darkwing Dubs and Macho Dubs and
don't be hitting on my fans, man. I mean, just leave my people alone.
Hey, I will say Conti did stand up for you, and he says, I grew up in the same era as Glenn, and he says I could see how he missed that one. But did you?
You got to remember too.
Did you play Kung Fu?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I definitely played it. And actually, on the NES, it was much easier to play than the arcade. I think Doug will agree. The arcade controls were a bit of a pain, so the NES controller helped there. But you also have to remember too, I did come from the early part of video games where the games were quick, mind-numbing gameplay. And you have the Zelda game, we got to put these hours in. Forget I said I play Phantasy Star and Ys. Forget I said that. It's a very long game. You got to play many hours, and I didn't want to spend that kind of time. I just wanted to go in, play, and get out.
No, it's
like we go on a date.
I get that. That's where I am. Today I like games that I can pick up and play 20, 30-minute intervals as opposed to investing 4-hour blocks. If I have to play a game like that, then I have to set aside a Saturday morning or something like that. That way I know I have that, time freely available where I can invest and, sit down and experience it. Because if you're playing an RPG or something like that, that has a profound story and lots of dialogue and lots of character development, all those type of things, you have to play it relatively regularly to keep up with everything. Otherwise, if you turn it on once a week for 4 hours, you're like, well, what was I doing last week? And what? Huh? You spend half the time playing catch up.
But can you read what's there? There's a caption down there.
Yeah. It says Glenn rocks. We get it. Listen,
there we go.
Listen, Brad. No, we just like giving him crap because he gives us crap for games that we don't play.
Never.
Oh right.
Okay.
So
come
Glenn,
on. Here's one. So we got that Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary Game & Watch. If they released because I know you're a Game & Watch fan, if they release a Zelda 35th anniversary Game & Watch, would you buy it and would you actually play it? Is that how they get you?
Because I think it is. I probably wouldn't.
No. I bet he would buy it, but it would sit in the box and it would never come out of the box. I bet he would buy it.
I love the Game & Watches.
Well, I was gonna say just for the collecting factor of it being a gaming watch, I think he would buy it, but not play it.
I don't know. I'm not much of a Link fan. I still remember that cartoon. Well, excuse
me, princess.
That was great. I have that actually. I have it over here.
I was about to say it's on my shelf as well. It doesn't hold up well, but man, I love Zelda.
No, but Captain N was pretty good. Well, the first season of Captain N was good.
Captain N was kind of corny, but if you were Zelda, right here it is. This is the complete season.
Yeah. Excuse me,
princess. The best. Actually, maybe I should watch this tonight. It's been a while. My kids love it.
No, you got to watch Invincible. If you haven't watched Invincible, you better get on Invincible.
Now, maybe I'm going to watch Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6.
There you go. Those are the good ones. I'm fine with that.
I'll watch them, and then I'll watch the really good ones, 1, 2, 3.
Ugh. I got burped in my mouth a little bit. I will say, though,
I just like giving them a hard time.
1, 2, 3 compared to 7, 8, 9, they are freaking gold. Freaking gold.
Just like giving them crap, guys.
You know what else is gold?
What's that?
The NES cartridge for The Legend of freaking Zelda, Glenn.
I even have both Zeldas for the NES complete in box.
I might be wrong.
Complete in
I might be wrong. I may actually have the cartridge Legend of Zelda. I might actually have it. I could be wrong, but I just never cared about the playing. I might if I have it, I will post it on my channel that I have it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anything else before we wrap up? And guys, we're going a little bit over this week only because I am actually on vacation this week. So unfortunately, from the Retro Buzz, there won't be another show. But Glenn and Doug may. Where'd he go? Glenn and Doug might pop on.
I'm really starting to reconsider next week. With
come on!
They might
after these revelations.
Yeah, they might pop on and do something to talk about E3.
Revelations, can't talk. Jesus.
But I'm going to take the week.
I think I gave him a stroke.
Yeah.
I have family coming out, so unfortunately.
Well, obviously, Stephen, where your priorities are, that's fine. Doug and I.
Yeah. Hold the fort down. My thing is though, hopefully Doug produces it because I think the people would want to see it in 30 frames a second as opposed to 4-bit or 5-bit.
This is we talk every time. This is the Retro Buzz. Retro. Not New Age show, retro. I'm bringing that part because you two won't do it.
So so Doug's gonna produce it, I assume. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So E3 predictions, really quick. What do we expect to see?
From who? I mean, there's more
Do
than
we?
there's a ton
All
of
right.
companies.
So let's.
That's
well,
such an
okay.
open-ended question.
No. I didn't finish. So from Nintendo, are we gonna see a Switch Pro?
I mean, if you're going to announce a Switch Pro, that's the time to do it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
I mean,
Are you?
yes. I'm on the side of yes, just because it's been so many years
Okay.
since the Switches came out.
From Sony, are we going to see a revamped PlayStation 5? The rumors have been kicking around that there's going to be a new PlayStation 5.
They can't even
Who
get the
knew?
PlayStation 5 in stores still. Yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying that
Way
they
too
said
early.
that they
Mhm.
were going to put it out. I saw some. Okay. What about some Halo Xbox Series X package
it needs
bundle that
They're
supposedly
behind.
it needs to. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be a launch game for crying out loud. Here
It
we are
was-
6 months later.
do we think that there's going to be from Microsoft a bundle? Because that's what I'm waiting for to get the Series X. I
think,
want
yes,
the
it's gonna
Halo
be
bundle.
It's the Bill Gates divorce edition.
Everything's half off.
Okay. What about with the arcade one-up stuff that we talked about the last couple weeks? The Babycades, the Simpsons, all that. Do you think we're going to hear about it, or do you think that they were leaks like the Buck Hunter was a year and a half ago, that it's just going to get forgotten about, and then they're going to re-release it like a year from now?
If anything is likely to hit stores this year as far as a brand new machine, I would say Simpsons is just the obvious low-hanging fruit. I mean, it's one of the biggest IPs that everybody's asked for since day one that hasn't been released, and it seems like the easiest, no-brainer one for them to do. Whether or not it has Simpsons Bowling and the Simpsons Tapper hack ROM and all that stuff, who knows? But I think Simpsons is an easy guesstimate that it'll happen. Everything else is just pure speculation. Everyone just kind of crossing their fingers.
Okay. iiRcade, there's been rumors that they might bring something out. I'm not quite sure. New hardware, new compilation hardware of some sort. I've heard rumors that there could be a console version coming.
Well, it would make a little sense if they did that, because as nice as this is, it's definitely a premium price. You get a nice console, nice wood. So if they could get something to get the cost down and get more consoles into hands of gamers, that helps them with getting more games on the console. So that would make sense. I didn't hear that myself, but if they're going to make something a little more,
You got to comb the
price-friendly
Reddit
for home.
forums, man. You got to comb the Reddit forums,
Reddit, what's
people.
that? What's
Exactly. Again, these are all speculative. We do some work with some of these companies, but they have not. I want to stress that they have not said anything to us about any of this. I think it'd be interesting to have a console version of that. I'm trying to think anybody else. At Games, they've been kind of quiet on the front of any kind of new products. I mean, obviously the pinball just came out.
There'll be some new stuff from Unico.
Oh?
Yeah.
So what are the rumors for Unico? New cabinet?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, you can't come on here and say.
I can tell you that there will be new stuff from Unico.
That doesn't give us. You got to give us.
It gives you more than what you knew 5 seconds ago because you were just looking right on past them.
Well, yeah, because Unico really hasn't done anything since they closed down shop.
So I will tell you
people.
of the Unico stuff that is in the works. There's a lot of people making guesstimates and speculations and stuff like that. And everything I've seen as far as those guesstimates and speculations is not even close to what they're doing. So let that.
Well, they made Glenn
noodle
disappear.
around in your
So,
brain.
oh, there he is.
Yeah, sorry about that. I will say that on next week's show with Doug, I will have an E3 announcement.
Hey, there we go.
GRS will have an E3 announcement next week.
Wow, they just accept anybody, don't they? Did you have to register for that too?
Oh no, they didn't. I don't think they found that police report. I don't think they did anyway.
Yeah, Doug's in the know. He comes out here and he says, "Hey, they're coming out with something new." But that's like Arcade One Up when Scott would come on. He'd be like, "Hey, yeah, we're coming out with something new at E3. What are you coming out?" Well, we can't tell ya.
Stuff and things.
Come on,
Stop it, thing.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a thing. They tell you, hey, here's some information. Don't share it. You don't share it. All I can tell you is there's going to be an announcement. So if you were waiting on bated breath for some news, you won't have to wait too much longer. And that's it.
Zero Hero gets the comment of the night. Glenn will play Zelda by E3.
Well, E3, but he didn't say what year. So yeah, I will say yes.
Yeah.
Devil's always in the details.
Yeah,
Zero
that's it,
Hero,
man.
oh man, you almost
He
had
had his
it.
opportunity.
All right, so quick question from Brad here. He wants to know, GRS, does the trackball work in Tempest with no jumper?
The current trackball will work in the arcade one-ups if the jumpers are moved. It takes away the 8 millisecond delay. Yes. We're still having a problem with the spinner working right. We're working with a few people to see if we can get that resolved. We're hoping to still support that. But yes, the trackball. As usual, my long answer to a very quick question was yes. Pull the jumper, it'll work.
There you go. There you go. I see some other folks coming in here. Herb Wars. Hello, gaming family. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Hey, if you guys didn't see that Friends reunion, it was really good. If you guys didn't see that on HBO Max, the Friends reunion was really, really good.
I heard it was good. I heard, was it Matthew what's his name? Last name? Drawing a blank.
His name's not John Blank.
No.
Glenn's
But anyways, I heard he had like emergency like tooth surgery like right before he went on there, so he was like half out of it. So I felt bad for him.
Really?
It's like, yeah.
Oh, is that what they're saying? Is that okay? That's what
Yeah,
that's
said
what
he
they're
was
going with?
slurring his words and appeared to be drunk.
It can't
I
be
don't know
anything
how
else.
authentic that is, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh wow, if that is
like-
true, like you feel for a guy. It's like, hey, they've waited all this time for you to have this reunion show, and you show up, on Novocaine, looped out of your mind.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
So I don't even think Glenn has played Smash Brothers, so he wouldn't play Zelda
Actually,
in Smash Brothers.
I did play that once or twice, and Cole wiped the floor.
Wait a
with me in that
second.
game.
So you played Smash Brothers,
Well,
but
yeah.
you have not played
Who
Zelda.
would not play Smash Brothers? I mean, come on, it's Smash Brothers. Of course, I played it.
Matthew Perry is so funny.
There we go. Yeah.
Sorry,
Matthew Perry was he's like me, slurs his words.
Yeah, Vigil, he says in the chat room, did you see the Taito mini arcade machine? The screen flips. Yes, we actually talked about that
Yes.
earlier in the show. If you go back and
Yes,
watch
how
it,
they ripped off my design. Yes, we did talk about that. Thank you.
and
Yes.
you get to hear Glenn just gripe because they ripped off his design from his Build Your Own Legends. Should have patented it, like
Sons of
Doug
bitches.
said. So, let's see here. Any other questions that you guys have? Otherwise, we're going to wrap up because I don't think there's really anything else that we can mention that I'm aware of, right? I don't think, did we miss
I
anything?
think we hit it.
I think we,
Oh,
I mean, those are your major headlines. There's always something in the
Yeah,
weeds,
there's one
but
more
those are your
thing we
major
forgot to
headlines
talk
this
about.
week.
what,
Kongs R Us had a show on last night that he and Bobby V are doing their own Build Your Own Legends Connect.
oh,
contest.
yeah, I did hear about that.
So yeah, so it looks pretty good. So Bobby actually went out. He bought his own at Games pinball machine. You got to pay for shipping, but he could let people design a machine and have the community pick the winner. And the winner, they pay for shipping. He will send them this pinball machine. So if you didn't see it, it was on last night. Kongs R Us. And
it's $300 limit. You can't go over $300.
right, plus the board, plus the Connect board.
Right. So you build it own. So
Right.
and I guess they're going
If
to do a
anyone wants to use my
weekly.
design, let me know.
I think him and P Dubs, right? Kongs and P Dubs are going to host it, and
Yes.
they're going to do it right this time. The community choice. It's not going to be done via other means. It's going to be a community choice.
No comment.
So that's what's going on. So yeah, definitely, if you think you can outmaster the master when Bobby Vu's modding, I just like to watch. I don't do all that stuff. So
That's pretty gross, man. That's
what? I missed it. Okay, it's been a long day, folks. Anyways, all right.
That's
So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Douglas Smith, YouTube.com/CoolToy. Check him out. He's got a bunch of different videos that he's been coming out with quite frequently. If you're not in his Discord, you need to get in there. He needs to get in there and not just post videos in there. Sorry, I was just gonna give you a hard time about that. Because my Discord yells at me all the time. Like if I post videos and I'm not in their chat, and they're like, "Listen, this isn't. It's my Discord," and they yell at me. They're like, "Stop
It's
Number
my
one,
Discord. I'll post if I want to.
I don't post videos.
Oh,
in my
your bot
Discord.
does.
Exactly, a bot does. And number two, I promise you, I post more content than I do videos because that drives me crazy.
I'm teasing.
There's a reason I don't even promote myself at the end of the show.
My Discord's got to be like 4 years old, and I think I've been in there once.
Glenn's got a full-on like sea monkey community in his Discord that he doesn't even know about. They're just thriving without him.
Also, you guys could check him out, youtube.com/gplanamento, Glenn Planamento, and all his various groups. Make sure you guys check it out. He's got some new videos. And I'm going to do something a little bit different today because a lot of you guys like wigged out when I changed my profile picture on Facebook and on and my you guys didn't know, like, I have an outdoor brand, right? It's called No Boundaries Outdoors, and my wife, myself, my family, we like to hunt and fish. And I actually met some of you guys in here that were like, hey, I'm into that too. I'm not just into the gaming stuff. So now as the transition goes into summer and into fall, I start getting into, as Doug knows from being a martial artist, like you go to the gym, you got to, keep practicing everything. And I kind of do the same thing with archery, and I got to get ready for fall. So if you're interested, and somebody told me to mention it on the show, they were like, but the comments, I had to laugh at some of the comments that somebody had mentioned about a movie. I think Michael B mentioned about it. But the other comments are always like, hey, I don't see anybody there. It's like, oh, the traditional camo comments. Like, where's Steven? I don't see him. It's like, har har,
It's a beautiful picture of the woods.
Right, exactly. So and then just to see some of those comments. So not to freak people out. That's what's going on with that. So yeah, I do a lot of different things. There's a lot of things I'm involved in. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know that I do and have going on. But it's something that we like to do. So.
But the feds are investigating.
Yeah. I do spend a lot of time outdoors, and you can, like I said, you can follow my adventures if you so choose to. What do we get? Poor Bambi. I knew somebody was going to say that. We don't shoot the little. We don't shoot the little ones.
Bambi only became so popular because the mother got shot, right?
Yeah.
So you should be thanking him.
Well, I mean, to be honest too, and like,
what a morbid take.
Ethical hunters don't shoot baby deer. And like, if I see a mother with two little ones, you don't shoot them because that usually means the mother has good genes, and you want that mother to stick around and keep producing. It's all about taking care of the wildlife as much as it is
It's typical. Just kill the men. That's how it is. Right?
The older doe. You kill the older.
Hey,
ones.
What about this Me Too movement? The women should be equally shot as.
They are. Oh, they are. They're just the older ones you want to take out.
Wow.
Take out the older ones, like Glenn. Take them out.
Oh, wait a second. Not so fast.
But yes, so I will see you guys in 2 weeks, right? Not next Friday, but the following Friday.
This guy, if he lets me on the show next week.
These two, Doug, please keep him in line. If you decide to do something, please.
Like I said, I got a call earlier from a lady that's just anxious to be new host. So we'll see. I'll talk to her, and I'll see if I feel like talking to Glenn anymore, and we'll see what comes up.
Guys in the chat room, please keep Glenn in line next week. If they end up doing something, please, I beg you. So that'll be going on next week. I saw somewhere in the comments, is P-Dubs, they're not doing a show tonight? That's all something about his mother. Yeah, I missed it going through the chat.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I didn't see that. So anyways, guys, we'll see you. I know this was a little bit longer of a show, but
Let's go back and watch us in a rerun. Just put us on at 9.
just do they really want to stare at this all night long?
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, it's been real. We will see you guys next week, these guys will see you next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks. And Brad, yes, I do have a catchphrase. I've had it for 15 years. So until next time, keep it buzzing.